For many, it was too late. And the numbers, no one knows the exact toll. Official reports downplayed it, perhaps to spare morale, perhaps to hide mistakes. Some newspapers whispered of over 100 dead, others claimed several hundred. What's certain is that in a single night, more lives were lost than in many full-scale battles. Picture the aftermath. Twisted locomotives still smoking, cars overturned like children's toys, uniforms scattered across embankments, a single boot lying in the mud. Supplies, rifles, blankets, letters from home, strewn among the wreckage. The survivors carried scars, both visible and hidden. Some would march into Atlanta days later, bandaged and limping, their comrades left behind on the rails. Others were haunted for life, remembering the screams in the dark. This is why we tell these stories. Because the Civil War wasn't only about generals moving armies on maps. It was also about moments like this, where ordinary men with no enemy in sight faced death from the very tools meant to deliver them to battle. If these forgotten tragedies strike you, there are many more waiting in the shadows of history, right here on this channel. And so, while the world remembers Gettysburg, Antietam, or Atlanta, the men lost in the Great Train Wreck of 1864 faded into obscurity. They died not in glory, but in confusion, and their story almost died with them. Yet here we are, over 160 years later, piecing it back together. The wreck was so violent that even in the stunned silence afterward, the cries of the living rose above the hiss of escaping steam. Soldiers pinned beneath timbers begged for help. Others, bleeding and burned, staggered into the night like shadows. The fire from the engines spread quickly, consuming broken cars and trapping men inside. Local farmers were among the first on the scene, woken by the terrible crash. They arrived with lanterns, axes, and water buckets, hacking through wood to pull men out. Within an hour, camp doctors and surgeons rushed from nearby encampments, carrying crude medical kits. The rails became an open-air hospital. Surgeons worked by flickering lanterns, their sleeves rolled, knives and saws flashing in the smoky glow.